level of play your wide receivers did on Saturday?
I thought they competed really hard, and I thought they executed the plan. Everything that we saw on Saturday in Fort Worth, that was just an accumulation of everything that we've done, throughout the off season, the spring, all the work that we put in the summer. So had a game plan. They executed really well. They were relentless through the course of the game. They responded appropriately through the course of the game, and they did a heck of a job.
What's it like for you to see Jimmy and Xavier, obviously former teammates, guys who had a difficult season at South Florida last season, but coming here together and having success right away in week one?
Just really happy for them, and really rewarding, and everything we talked about is like, you guys just continue to follow the plan, continue to trust the process, continue to develop great practice habits, and keep pouring in the work that you've been pouring in over these past few months, and you're going to get the results that you want at the end of the year.
Were you kind of checking in with Travis throughout the game to kind of see where his stamina was at?
Not personally. Like during the game, I'm in the press box, so I'm somewhat detached from them during the game, and I'm feeding information to the guys on the field, and we're having conversations. So I rely on the other assistants to feed information through me to the guys. But I mean, us as coaches, we all try and we share the same language, we share the same message. So it's easy to communicate like guys when you're all on the same page.
On that topic of communications and talking with your coaches, how do you feel like all the game day operations went? And of course, Sean Lewis called a great game. How was just working with him in that setting?
Phenomenal. I mean, there's no, like I said, we had a plan. We knew exactly what we had to do. The players knew exactly what they had to do. I thought the coaches did a good job, as far as in-game communication and adjustments, all that stuff, and just everyone was just really positive, and everyone, anytime they scored, we get the ball back, like, let's go, okay, now they get the kicker turn, all right, let's go offense, it's our turn. So everybody, coaches and players included, did a good job responding and playing the next play when we had to.
How were you feeling emotionally during that game? Everyone was on the edge of their seats, but how were you doing up in the press box?
No emotions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our job as coaches, is to take the emotion out of the game. And so, whether you're on the field or you're in the booth, you try and just stay focused on the task at hand, the play at hand, especially up top. Your job isn't necessarily to watch your guys all the time. You got to be watching the defense. And then I got to be eyes for Coach Lou. I got to be eyes for other guys down on the field. So you got to take the emotion out of the game, and you got to feed information to coaches and players on the field.
Coach, you got several other really talented receivers that maybe didn't touch the ball the other day, but you had to kind of keep their heads up a little bit at your time.
Yeah, and they're all right. They're okay. It was one of those things. We were rolling. We were rolling, and we were getting a lot of man coverage, and those dudes, they were competing, and their lungs were feeling good. Credit to the practices and the work that they put in at elevation over the past few months. Credit to the strength staff that we have here, and there wasn't any taking those guys out, at that point, and so they were rolling, and we were just going to let them roll.
Coach, it looked like yesterday Javon Antonio was in the non-contact, maybe dealing with the shoulder. Is he going to play this weekend?
Yeah, we don't anticipate anything this week yet. The plan is to have him ready to play. But he's dealing with a little shoulder, and he'll be all right. He'll continue to move and shake throughout the week, and we'll see how that unfolds.
Dylan had a great game as a receiver. Have you worked with him to try and refine that part of his game?
Not personally, no, not personally. I mean, he obviously adds that element, and part of what we do offensively, it gets him in space, and he could line up detached and quote unquote play the receiver position out of the backfield. I don't really get a lot of personal time with him at practice. Everything that he's taught really comes from the running back room and what we teach overall as an offensive unit.
Looking at Nebraska, what are you expecting out of that unit, your receiver unit, this upcoming game?
Play the next play, just execute the task at hand. With him, it's personal for us this week, right? It's personal. We're expecting a little more off coverage this week, a little more zone coverage this week, right? So, we just got to be, again, we got to be where the quarterback expects us to be. We got to execute the plan. We got to have a great week of practice. That's really all it is. Play the next play. What happened last week, it don't matter. All that matters is the one at hand.
Talk to me about how you're feeling going into this week's game. I mean, it's the 100th season at Folsom Field.
Say that again. It's what?
The 100th season at Folsom Field.
Oh, I got you. So how am I feeling going into this game? I feel ready to win, and we're going to be prepared. Our guys are going to be prepared, and we're just ready to play fast and execute the plan again.
Is it a little bit more special?
I mean, it is special. Anytime you play, those guys in red down there, it's personal and it's special. This week is, like Coach Prime had mentioned, there is a certain buzz around it, but again, you got to take all those other factors out of play, and you got to focus on the task at hand. You got to focus on the team at hand, and as a coach, again, take emotions out of it, and so your guys could execute play at a high level.
One more for Coach. Never mind, no more for Coach.
Good.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys.